Well, welcome to me shop. Welcome to me shed. Now I sound like Ian Matthews. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than a shed though. Yeah. Okay. That's beside the point. And we got this right here. And then we're going to take this piece of brass off here. Well, you can tell that I'm not really good at making micro scrapping videos. There's a lot of people that are great at it. I'm more about the, I'm more about the big stuff. Now, here we go. That's number one copper right there. Since I chopped that piece of brass off, I suppose we'll get away with calling this number one. So there we go. That's number two. This is my Gaylord box. I'm filling it with number two wire. So what I'm going to do, I got a pallet, fill the box. I don't know, I'll probably get about 500 pounds of wire in there, maybe more, 600, something like that. And then I have the option of taking it in then, or I could just, well, sky's the limit inside here, right? So I could just stack another box on. Well, why would I do that? I don't know. Price is only going to go up. I mean, I got a couple of scrappers out there. Yeah, E-Waste Ben. He's an Australian scrapper. He does a lot of like electronics and computers and rips them apart. My God, that guy's got so much like e-waste. He had like bins and bins. Only they were like metal cages, and they were the size of this box right here. He had probably one of his more recent videos. He had like probably about 4 or 5 bins filled with all kinds of, like, he had circuit boards, high grade boards, low grade boards. And he's always talking about the copper. Don't get rid of your copper. Copper's going to go way up. Well, maybe it will, but especially the other day, Trump put a huge tariff on cheap imported Chinese aluminum and steel. 25% on the steel and 10% on the aluminum. So you know for sure the prices are going to go up now. That is a guarantee. So the highest I'm getting right now is 200 a ton. I can imagine by May that should be around 300. And I know some of the other yards aren't paying as well, especially in other areas of the country, but those prices will go up too. I got a little bit of brass here. I got a brass bucket all the way over in the other corner. So my intention here is to buy more Gaylord boxes, put them on pallets. I could line them along the wall. I have large areas to put, a small scrap like this is not going to stay in the bucket. I'm not going to keep my copper here, so I won't do that. If I have a large amount of copper, that copper is going home with me. It's not staying here in the warehouse. The only way it would stay here in the warehouse is if I equip this with a armed alarm and motion detecting cameras and stuff like that, because I don't need my hard work stolen from me. The steel, the scrap steel is one thing, but the heavy iron and stuff like that, yeah, it could get stolen. Sure. But if I had a couple of Gaylord boxes filled with copper, I mean, talking like, probably about $5,000 worth of copper, and you could fill this entire warehouse with shred, and you'd barely reach $5,000 worth of metal. So yeah, I got a bunch of converters, catalytic converters. Probably have about 10 of those. Keep finding them one at a time, you know, like from people that are working on their own car, etc. And you know, these things are worth some money, especially the factory ones, the factory originals, such as this right here. That's a factory original. You know what I can't find? I found that I had a catalytic converter from an Audi, and I don't know if somebody stole it or what, but that thing, I haven't seen that thing. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Somebody snagged that thing on me or what? And I got a big diesel truck one right here. That's got to be worth a couple bucks. So yeah, and I continue to cut this stuff right here. As you can see, I got that piece right here. Take care of that. I got rid of a bunch of junk that was in front of this workbench right here, and I did declutter this workbench. And look at it, it's just a big monster clutter. Hey, there's that Bracken Recycling. He like collects. What's up with the brass stuff? He's got like a brass collection. What's with the scrap people at brass collections? You know, I unwittingly like fell into this. I got this brass. I got a bunch of brass pieces. I got a brass Mack truck Bulldog. It's not here. It's at the house. It's actually above the kitchen cabinets because I thought it was so cool. I took it home. The dog, I found that a while ago though. This thing, I just found this stupid thing. I have the antlers to it and everything. That's kind of cool. Made in India. Like a lot of this crap. It's made in India. There's no, I don't know where the tag went. Maybe it came off. So now you guys have a little update. What I'm up to. My insanity. My distraction with getting that big yellow truck going. And all the time that took out of me has led to this disaster, which is embarrassing. I shouldn't really put this up on my YouTube video. I should actually, before I put this up and post it, I'm going to think about editing it out, whether I should or shouldn't. Maybe I'll make 2 videos and look them over and then decide whether I should include this embarrassment or not. But hey, look, I'm one guy, okay? I can only do so much. And what am I trying to do? Yeah, drive myself crazy. No, trying to get the big trucks going, okay? I have to stay in operation, kind of like a power plant. Can't shut the power plant down because then there's no electricity, right? Well, I'm kind of like the same thing. If I shut myself down, the money stops flowing. The money stops flowing, well then I'm frozen. I can't do anything. I've only got 2 hands. 2 hands. See? 2. Okay? And my health. That's all I got. Alright? And my physical strength. That's all I got. Yep, this truck runs right here. So this is my backup plan right now. So I will use this a little bit less because it's kind of beat up. That's to say the least. Got over 500,000 miles on it. And I'm going to be using that more often. This one less often, the other one more often. And I need to get another one of my pickup trucks running so that I have at least 3 that are rolling around rather than 2, because that's the way I usually operate, is with like 2 that are rolling. But it would be better to have 3 that are rolling all the time, in my opinion. That way I'm never down, man. And if I fill one up, because there's so much scrap out there, right? I fill one up and I don't have time to even come here. I can park it right out in front of the house, grab the other truck, get out there, hit the streets, just keep going until I just can't go any longer. Till I've got every piece of scrap. I just can't go any longer. I filled 3 trucks. I'm about to collapse. And then, yeah. Then it's all good, man. I've made my money. Yeah, making the video, and I seen somebody walking towards me, and I didn't want the interruption, so I came in here and I closed the door. Yep, here's these keyboards. I did try selling them, and nobody made an offer. I'm gathering these things, you know, cut and clean them. That'll be perfect. This is solid heavy duty wire. I just found this not that long ago. That weighs quite a bit. I think that's cool. So yeah, I get it. Actually, what I want to do is, you know, just be scrapping the steel mostly, because that's what I do. That's what I make most of my money off of. And as I go along, I'll be building up a supply of non-ferrous, and when I get a decent load of it, it's all going to the yard all at once, one trip, rather than 500. Did that person go? Because I didn't want to be bothered. I mean, I have this freaking place in the middle of nowhere, right? And people still find me. And, you know, that's the great thing about a place like this. It's out of the way, and I'm not being pestered and bothered every like 2 minutes, because that... Oh, it's that guy. I actually kind of want to talk to him, because I need to have that power unit. I want to like shove this shit. I want to shove all this stuff in, because I'm starting to step over the line here and take over my neighbors. Take over my neighbor's side. You know, what the hell? That's... I don't like to be a rude neighbor like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess I could, but that's... I don't want to be like that. I hate people like that. Well, hate, that's kind of a strong word. It's... People like that are kind of annoying. I don't want to be that guy. He pays for his unit. It's only fair. Yeah, I sure could have used these right there underneath that Monte Carlo the other day. My daughter's car that I was climbing under without a jack stand. Well, I see, you know, I can see the comments now. All I see is money all over the place, Kingdom. Yeah, you don't. You're not with me all day, okay? I only let people into my life when I want to make a video. Okay, you don't see everything that does go on. There's a lot that goes into this crap. It's enough to drive you mad. It took 4 days to get that yellow truck moved. 4 freaking days to find a towing company that would do it. To find somebody that wasn't a thief. Like the last guy. The last guy stole $390 of mine. That really hurts. And I'm not some boastful guy and will never admit to it. Yeah, I'll admit to my stupidity. Because, you know, I'm kind of a trusting guy, and I really shouldn't be. It's a cutthroat world. And did it teach me a lesson? I guess. I mean, I like to know that there's good people in the world. And it kind of hurts when there's people that are that mean that will just take your money. You know what I mean? Kind of ugly. Now I want to get off that subject. So now I'm driving myself crazy. I don't want to think about it. I just want to think about this stuff and moving forward. Because if I think about the $390 too much, I'll get all agitated, especially because my insurance is due. The rent is due on this place right here. Okay. my mortgage is due. I got it going on, you know. Micro scrapping. I will never be claimed to be the best. These things right here, these are awesome. You know, these door handles, fancy. She actually put it on my house. I'm not going to though. I like it. Yeah. But take this aluminum piece off right here, and then I have a pure brass piece. I'm gonna get back to work and not expose you to my madness of a little bit of micro scrapping, because I'm gonna cut these pieces up, maybe cut that up, and I got like 3 appointments of scrap I have to pick up from people. Yeah. I want to get a bigger refrigerator. I think I'm going to take the refrigerator that's at my house. It's stocked with nutritious meals. Kingdom, look at that. Gatorade, M&M's, and Diet Coke. How will we survive? I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, this thing works great though. You know, for a piece of crap that I found in the garbage. Yeah, you can get a frozen item in there, maybe a couple of frozen pizzas. Maybe some more drinks in there. And I'll relocate that micro. I'm good, man. See, I never really got going in this place because, well, the guy was the owner, the landlord. Okay, the landlord was supposed to move me over to the other place, and the other place was supposed to be cheaper. The other place still doesn't have a door on it, and I wanted to build like an office or something like that, and you know, put a little space heater in there, and probably put an air conditioner in it, so I have a place to like take a break. You know what I mean? Sit down for like, you know, 10 minutes. Because I work crazy mad hours. I could work like, you know, 18-hour days easily. And it would be nice just to like chill rather than like, you know, sit on these little stools right here that I picked up a while ago. Yeah, Scrap Hawk said he's like, oh, you should keep them. Actually, they're in great shape too, so. Turns out I didn't destroy them. I kept all of them. There's a couple right there. So he's like, oh yeah, you know, you can keep these stools, you know, they're great for like when you're working on stuff, but I'm kind of fat, and believe it or not, it's easier for you to get on your knees. Now, no, for me, actually, I'm like a kid. It's easier for me to just get down on the floor and just, you know, do that. Which is kind of insane, you know, for an adult to do, but for me, I'm not disabled, not handicapped. I'm in great health for a fat guy. I don't have any medical issues or anything like that, so no diabetes, you know, so getting on the floor like that is not really a challenge. So that has to have value. I know that. So anyway, hopefully this has been a crazy enough chat. And the other thing is I have to modify my videos because my family watches them. So not everything you see here, I have to fess up. You know, I hide a lot of the stuff that I'm doing because then my father-in-law would be crawling down my ass. Or for other family members, you need to go and do this. You need to go. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So they're not my boss. I don't want a boss. I don't work good with a boss. I've tried. I've had like so many jobs in my lifetime, like regular jobs. And yeah, doesn't work out. Here's some more madness over here. I've been organizing and straightening, but you know what? There's a limit to the amount of organization you're going to do to scrap metal, because it's really a waste of time at a certain point. Creating areas for the stuff to be dumped and put to is better. So for me, what would work the best at a location like this is dumping the stuff off outside and putting the iron, all the shred and stuff like that goes right on the truck, and all the stuff that needs to be separated, gone through, broken down, comes inside here like this. This right here. It's an aggravating thing, I've never found one junkyard, like, this is my favorite yard, they pay the most on everything, they beat, no. There's always one junkyard's always really great on this, that, and other thing, and then there's a couple things that they really suck on. So I will take this to the one junkyard, I'm not going to mention their name, and they take up to 20 pounds of this stuff at number 2 wire price, which I think they're paying 55 cents for number 2 wire, because all the other yards pay 15 to 20 cents for this stuff, Christmas lights. Okay, so if I go to that yard, which does pay less for the other steel, okay, for the shred they pay like $15 less a ton. I'll just take this shit here to offset the loss. But the other thing is, that yard you can get away with like dropping way more like crap, like broken glass and plastic and gnarly ass crap like that. They're really forgiving about it. As long as you don't come in there with bricks and concrete and dirt. If you happen to have plastic and some shit attached to your stuff, like doors like this, there's yards that will not take this door, okay? Look at that. Okay, there are yards that will not take this door at all. And then there are other yards that will. There's too much wood, too much glass, okay? But, okay, where was I? I had a magnet. I had a big round one. What the hell did I do with it? I don't know, I was going to show that the thing is made out of steel, but I can't do it. I didn't know I was going to do this video this long. Anyway, this is a steel door. So, there are some yards that will buy this door as a steel door. And there are other yards that will say, leave that in the truck. Don't even drop that on the ground. And those other yards, they will take it just like that. Okay? There's some yards that will buy this crappy ass aluminum clad, wood filled storm door. They'll take this as breakers. And there's a lot of yards that just will, they'll barely take it as shred steel. Where the hell is that thing back there? Yeah, that. So many people insisted that I keep this stupid bike. It's like, you know, like people are trying to guilt me into like, okay, I'm keeping the bike. I mean, I don't know. It's supposed to be for a little girl, but look at that. That's rusted. You know what I mean? The rest of it's in okay shape, but you know, when you're buying your kid a brand new toy, the problem is people are like, well, you should donate them and give them the. Well, the problem is I don't really want to be responsible for this problem right here. See that? This is why a lot of them end up in the garbage. It's because the brakes are screwed up. See how they are working? Pretty much, kind of, but look at that. Okay. I'm not going to put, when I'm in as desperate of a position that I'm in, you know, for daily survival, I don't have the time to make something like that perfect and give it away as a freebie to some kid that, you know, is going to end up crashing and breaking their head. Selling it is another thing. That's one thing. Okay, the people deliberately bought it. They didn't take it out of desperation. They bought it. Buyer beware. They knew what they're doing. So selling it is not much of an ethical issue as giving something away that you know is defective. Same thing with this. It's better to sell something like this that you know in your head and heart it's got a lot of defects. So selling it is not a moral dilemma, because people are looking at it, they know that it's broken, you know what I mean, because, you know, you're paying money for it, and you tell them, you know, hey, the brakes, it works, but, you know, there's issues with, oh, yeah, I can fix that. Okay, well, cool, okay. Donating it, you don't know who's getting it, okay. You don't know if they're capable of fixing it. You don't know if they're just going to give it to the kid. With me, donating it, I'm out. Okay, I can't be convinced otherwise. Not on that. Oh, looks like the Diet Coke was a little bit frozen there. Alright, I'm going to get back to work. I hope I charmed you guys enough with my insanity. Here's some copper to take apart. Tedious work. Oh, the Harleys are out. Can you hear that in the background? Springtime is here. Springtime is here, and the birds are chirping, and the sky is beautiful.